My guy, you got it right.
You got it
Today
right,
was the
man.
American Wi-Fi messing up, man.
You
Or
know
what was it?
what?
Well, I don't know, dude.
I don't know what happened, man. The camera was messing up, but we here, we made it, and it's another episode of the Devo and Kris Joe show. So we appreciate everybody tuning in. You know it, Wednesday 10 to 11, man. We appreciate you guys. And before we get started, I want to make sure that we shout out our sponsor. First and foremost, Flintstone Cannabis Company. Appreciate you guys, Flintstone. Take that walk down the street, man. Walton Street is right down the street from Galaxy. It's warming up
Down
a
the
little bit
block,
out here, Joe.
took a right. You know what I mean? hey, no. As we're on the topic, shout out to Flintstones 100%. Did you see that the NCAA is going to try, or I don't know if it's fake news or hoax, but take marijuana off the illegal substance list? Did you hear
I
anything
mean,
about that?
you know what? They should, man. If it, you know what, again, you got to regulate it, and you don't want to have guys coming in high
And
and
we
shit.
don't condone, we don't want
Yeah,
exactly put some parameters, be responsible.
yeah.
But
Be responsible. A lot of people can't be though.
yeah, that's a fact. But like a lot of people say, that'll soothe your body, relax your mind after a stressful day, practice, long week, exam period, whatever it may be that you're going through. Because what do we turn to? And not to say turn to, but our outlet is going to the bars, and the bars include, probably sometimes having some adult beverages and things of that
Yeah,
nature. You know what
and
I'm
I'm not a
saying?
drinker, Joe.
And
I'm not a drinker. You know what I mean?
yeah, and that do your body even worse the next day than if you just medicated in a responsible manner. You wake up feeling great, refreshed, and you go on ahead about your business, man.
Yeah, and to each his own, man. I think too, and this is, we're going into another topic, but I mean, mental health is so prevalent now. I mean, I mean, it's out there. Like people are talking about it, and people are dealing with it. I think they've been dealing with it, but now it's just kind of like out there in the forefront, even more so. And I'm not saying like you want to use this to deal with it every time, but if it helps you get through, some of your moments or whatever it is, I mean, again, to each his own, man. But I mean, Joe,
Yo,
I deal with it every day, man. Just you're up here, and then when it's done, you go right back down here fast. Like
yeah,
it's a lot to deal with. So like I think everybody has their own way of dealing with their mental health and anxiety, depression, whatever it is. So yeah, but shout out Flintstone, man. You holding us down.
100%.
You keep writing that check, baby. That's what we need. But yeah, man, Joe, we got a lot to chop it up about, man. Over the weekend, Cuse obviously had a great win versus Miami with the buzzer beater. Then last night, not so much. Second half kind of meltdown. Offense didn't really show up. Let's start with the game Saturday though. And again, I had the pleasure of being able to call it on
Yep.
ESPN2. It was my first national TV game. And Joe, here's the deal, Joe. I was at my daughter's track meet. The fam
Okay.
came into town. Fam came into town from Michigan. So we all there watching. And it's probably 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. I get the call on my phone. Matt Park had called me, and he was like, "Hey,
Shout out to Matt Park, man. That's my
shout
guy.
out Matt Park." You know what, Matt's
Strongest
awesome.
handshake in America. Shout out Matt Park, man. That's my dog.
Yeah, yo, Matt's been he's been holding me down, man. He's been giving me a lot of opportunities. He's really been helping me out and supporting me. So I appreciate you, Matt. But Matt, he gives me a call, and he's like, "Hey, man, what are you doing tomorrow?" And I'm like, "Well, shit, I plan on going to the game because I was getting a check, and that was
Yeah, I
nothing.
remember you said that. Yep.
We're getting a check from the foundation from Athletes Who Care for $10,000, and that was awesome. So I told him I'd be there, and he was like, "Well, look, Corey Alexander, who's supposed to do the game, is he's having some trouble with his flight to get into Syracuse. So it's a possibility that you could hop in and take his spot." And I'm like, "Shit, ESPN2 dash." I was like, "All right, bet. Well, I guess let me know." He's like, "Well, I'll let you know in 2 minutes." So I'll call. a few minutes go by and I get a call from a ESPN number, and the guy's named David. Shout out my guy David. Hey Eric, man, we really appreciate you. Subbing in and taking the time. Well, I'm like, well, all right, well, so is it a go or what? He's like, yeah, Corey's not gonna be able to make it. We need you to hop in. Miami, Syracuse, noon. So I'm like, obviously, I knew about.
That's tough.
It was tough. I knew about the Cuse Joe, and then I guess it was just me getting to do my homework for Miami. So man, I went after the track meet, Joe. I went right back to the crib, man. I'm looking up Miami. I'm doing all the stats and making sure I'm on my shit. So because my partner who was working with was Kevin Brown, who was a Cuse alum, and he's the Baltimore Orioles play-by-play guy. You know what I mean? So now I'm stepping into a whole nother, I did a couple for ACC Network, ESPN Plus, but now I'm stepping into a whole nother.
That's big time, right?
You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous as shit at first, but I'm like, I gotta take that opportunity, Joe. You know what I'm saying? Got to take that opportunity. So, we get there Saturday and, we do the game and man, you know how it is. At first it's kind of like, and then you settle in, the game starts going and then you just kind of get into your shit. Man, I felt good. And it couldn't have been a better game to, having 100%. Done my first national TV game. So, and shout out to all those guys.
You got the practice in those, right? Shout out ACC Network. You've been getting the practice, like you said. So that's good. You were prepared for it, but it was so random and abrupt. Like it happened so quick, random. You know what I mean? But yeah. I was happy for you seeing that, bro, and just the magnitude of the game, how it ended. And you did a hell of a job, bro. I wanted you to say bang or some shit when he hit that shot. But you did a great job, bro.
5 to shoot. Mitch
okay.
Still with a dribble. Lost it. It's Copeland for the win. Yes!
Oh, yeah.
Raw emotion right there.
Whoa!
Hey, look at the little voice crack. Whoa!
I said, what you, a Disney character? That's what's up, man.
Oh, what an amazing game.
But bro, shout out to everybody that was involved in getting you that opportunity. That was big time. You know what I mean? Definitely big time. And what I want to ask you is just being in that moment. Now the game's going on back and forth, like, you know what I'm saying? We hit a three, they hit a three, down to the wire, literally. It came down to the last shot, a buzzer beater, probably QC's biggest shot of his young career to this point, I'm assuming, maybe of his basketball career as a whole. Right. But that moment, you've been in some situations, one in particular, where you hit a shot at the buzzer. Doesn't necessarily end in our favor, but it ends in our favor, ultimately. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
Ended up making history. But you being able to see that, what was that moment like? What was the crowd like? What was that energy like in the dome? You know what I mean? Because that was a big time shot, noon game, primetime TV on ESPN. Run me through that. Just paint a picture for us, or for me.
Man, bro, I was ready to hop out on the floor for real. And I don't know if you heard Kevin Brown, what he said at the end. He's like, that shot is worthy of hopping on the scorer's table. So he's kind of referencing.
For sure.
He was referencing that. So that was a great call. But, bro, at that moment, I guess for me, like, when you're really in the game and you're locked in and you're calling it, like, it's just like, now you're just like being yourself. You know what I mean? It's just like, you're just calling the game. You're seeing what you see. Like, that's the basketball in me, like, just came out. Like, the reaction, It wasn't like a planned, or it wasn't like a, taught. It was just like, hey, like, this is the natural, I guess, reaction to what happened. So, but no, it was amazing, bro. Like, you couldn't have like scripted it any better, for my first time doing it on ESPN, having it be that type of game, and being able to get the check at halftime, and then I was able to kind of talk about the foundation on air a little bit and show some love to the foundation and what we've been doing. So, I mean, it was perfect, man.
National TV, bro. That reached millions of views, man. It got to a lot of listeners, so that's big time.
How are you doing?
How you doing? Yeah, that was so funny. Jordan, funny that you said that because so, I was getting so many messages like, and you're talking about bang and onions. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone has
Yeah.
their little tagline, and they were like, "How you doing?" That's going to be your tagline, Devo. Like, because Quad Ear. I think at the end I was like, something Quad Ear. How you doing? You know what I'm saying? Just like some random shit comes
Yeah.
out, man.
Hey,
But
that's how it comes out. That's how it comes out, and that's how you stick to it, man. You know what I mean?
yeah,
For
no,
real, for real.
it was dope. And then actually, Joe, I just got a call a couple of days ago, and they wanted me to do another game. They asked me to do Notre Dame at Louisville.
Okay.
I wasn't able to do that, taking baby girl on vacation to Florida. But then they asked me, could I do a game, Charlotte at Tulsa, 2 days later. So my next game is going to be Charlotte at Tulsa. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Yeah.
on my job right now, getting my homework done. And
Oh, you got to, because I know for a fact you ain't know much about neither of them.
Yo, Joe, I just watched. They played earlier in the year, and I just watched the game last night. Charlotte at Tulsa. Charlotte, they're doing good. We actually have a Robert Braswell who played for Syracuse. He plays for Charlotte now. He transferred over there.
Oh yeah, yep.
A few years ago. So I guess some
athletic, sneaky, quiet. Yeah, you got some Q style, crazy Q styles everywhere, man.
yeah,
Definitely.
no doubt. So no, it was, the whole experience was dope, and who knows, it could be a different or a new avenue for me, doing that and
Hey, let me say
game.
this. Let me stop you right in your tracks, baby. Let me stop you right in your tracks. As long as you do whatever you want, as long as you still got time to hop on every Wednesday, 10 to 11 for the
Come
Devo
on,
and
man.
Kris show, man. Come on now.
Man.
You know what I mean? Nah, but me, I'm happy for you, man. All the this is the stuff that happened to good people. I feel like, that don't burn bridges, that do good by others, and have that good energy that we talk about. No one will call you if you were a dickhead. You see what I'm saying? So the fact that you're getting these calls, it's big time. It's big time that you're being considered. And obviously you did well enough for them to be like, listen, we need him again and again. And they're going to call you 6th man of the year in a minute if you keep subbing in for folks. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
So
I get 20 off the bench.
Keep it going, man. NCAA tournament, CBS, what's next? Endless opportunities, man. So I'm happy for you, bro.
And bro, it's funny that you say that because, like kind of, I guess in our mind, we ask for things, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like the manifestation of things, and you like, hey, I wish I could get another opportunity to do it. I really enjoy it. And then when it comes about, it's like you brought that, to the forefront, you know what I'm saying? Just asking in your mind, or asking the universe for, that opportunity and that chance. And, when it comes, you just want to be prepared for it, man. So yeah, it's a blessing, man. And I'm thankful for all the support, and, we're going to keep getting after it, man. We're going to keep doing it. So,
yes,
but let's talk about, let's talk about the game a little bit though. We'll start with Miami. Bro, they played great. You know what I'm saying? I think that game against Miami was, again, two similar teams. Like, I think of both teams were, wanting to play up and down. And like you said, those last 3-4 minutes, like it was like boom, boom, back and forth. Yeah. Like both teams were
haymakers
scoring.
After haymaker. You know what I'm saying? That's how I see that.
Big time. And guys were stepping up. And I think that was huge for, us to be able to, protect home court and get that win. And Copeland, stepping up, hitting big shots. Judah having an all around, great floor game, 13 assists, 10 points. And then you had other guys step up, and JJ had a great game, hit 6 threes, 22 points is his season high. So that was a great win. And then, obviously last night going into the game versus Florida State, I thought for, most of the game, I mean, you could even go into the last 6, 7-8 minutes of the game, we were there, even though we weren't playing good. I don't think Florida State was playing good either. But again, two similar teams. Florida State's the tallest team in the country, and they really excel at getting to the basket and getting downhill. And I think what, we didn't do well. Obviously, the last 7-8 minutes was play defense and protect the paint. Florida State had 50 points in the paint. We turned the ball over, and then offensively, we couldn't get anything.
At all.
Coach Red said at the end of in the presser last night, it's probably the worst offensive game that they had. And again, you look at the stats, you see Judah had 28 points. But I go back to last night, we were saying in the post game, I think we're a better team when Judah's able to get everybody else involved first. You know what I'm saying? Getting guys confidence.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Because he could get his stuff anytime. You know what I'm saying? Like he got to the free throw line 15 times, but I think early on, you need to be able to get Kris Bell. You need to be able to get Justin Taylor. You need to be able to get like those bigs some touches so they're feeling the ball and they feel good about themselves, going into the rest of the game. You know what I mean? But we're not getting any wing production. We're not getting anything from that wing. We're just making it so hard on ourselves. On a consistent basis, Joe, we're making it so hard on ourselves because now when we're not getting any production from those guys, we're not making any perimeter jump shots. There's no spacing. All the shots we got to go downhill are going to be hard. And if they're not forced, they're going to be difficult. You know what I mean? And we just can't win like that. I don't think this Syracuse team is able to win playing like that, every game. We have to be able to have Judah be able to space, put the ball out, get other guys the ball.
So we have that where we're not getting that consistent production, we would say, from the wing. You know what I mean? Yeah. And we only truly have how many guys is Justin, Kris, who comes in and plays. That's really our two true wings, I'd say. Yeah. Like threes.
Quadir,
yeah, but he's coming in playing foul trouble last night. Yeah. So what? Outside of, we know that they're working, right? This is a guarantee. They're at Syracuse. You're at these big time schools. There's no way that you're getting away with not putting some work in, especially when you're, going to be asked to play minutes and produce. You being able to see this season so far, what do you think is the story? What do you think is the, I guess you could call it, issue with that production? Is it the fact that they're not getting enough touches early? Because I do feel like yesterday we shot 7% from three. I mean, Justin didn't shoot that much. I think he only shot 2 shots, if I'm not mistaken, or 1 maybe.
Yeah, but I think 1.
You know what I mean? 12 minutes. So we can't really, in this instance, say he didn't really produce, I'd say.
Yeah, 0 for 1, Joe.
Yeah. Then I think Kris Bell was 1 for 5 or 6. 1 for 6, if I'm not mistaken.
2 for 9. 2 for 9, 1 for 6 overall. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So is that a matter of, and now you're playing at the Dome, is that reps? Is that feeling comfortable? Is that, because I feel like he's involved in the offense. He's getting those looks. And if not, he's going to create a look for himself. So what would you say, or what do you believe to be the problem in that area?
Well, like I said, I think, obviously it starts with Judah. He's the best player on the team. He's the guy who's going to have the ball in his hands most of the game. So I think for him to be able to start off and getting those guys in a rhythm, because Joe, just to be real, like those guys, they can't create by themselves right now. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, you can't give them the ball and be like, go ahead, make a play or, get to the rim. It's got to be somebody else doing it for him. I think Kris Bell, I like what he did yesterday as far as pump fake, 1 dribble, getting into the lane. He could do that a lot more. One dribble, 2 dribbles, pull up.
Guys are coming flying out. They're trying to run them off the line anyway, take away that 3. So you might as well just take what they give you. That's the name of the game right there.
100%. You know what I'm saying? I think Judah just needs to be able to get those guys involved early, right? Get those guys, feeling the ball a little bit, even if they're missing the shots, man. Like drive to the paint to get paint touches, but drive to be able to get other guys open. You know what I'm saying? Because Judah, you can, and you're a great player. We know you can get yours, but you can't do it by yourself. You know what I mean? You had 28 points. We lose by 16 points. You know what I mean? The last game you had 10 points, 13 assists. We win by 3. So I mean, that's the formula right there.
Right there. And he was flirting with a triple-double.
Exactly. And again, and for himself, I think at the next level, they want to see that more than you score 30. You're not going to score 30 in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? They want to see how you can distribute, get guys in their spots. You know what I mean? Get other guys going. So, and Joe, we can't put it all on Judah. You know,
No, because I was gonna say, me playing devil's advocate in a sense where, okay, yo, these guys not making any shots. Like, in my mind, shit, I can't keep giving them the ball right
no
now. I
doubt.
trust them. These my guys. These my teammates. But I've been called upon to be the man on the alpha in this team, and that's the role that I have, is to put the ball in the basket and find ways, to help us win. Saturday was distributing the ball. Guys were hitting shots. It was, JJ had a great game. Guys were contributing. This game, guys aren't making as many shots. So in my mind, if he's thinking, shit, well, all right, it's time for me to at least. And again, it was a close game for like a long time. It just got ugly quick. You know what I'm saying? But if he's on a roll, he's getting to the basket, he's punching the gaps and getting fouled, getting to the free throw line. Me, myself, I'm probably thinking, this is the way, maybe in his mind, this is the way we win. This is the way I get us close to victory. And maybe at some point, I get someone open late and we make a big shot. Kind of like that play at the end against Miami seemed like a broken play, but he finds the right guy. He finds someone open. You know what I'm saying? He makes that shot. But how do you deal with, we're not shooting the ball well, no one's really scoring right now, everybody's kind of, I got to go ahead and do it.
Yeah, no, I get that part. I was the same way. And again, I think you got to give these guys chances. Like, you can't just do it if they miss one or two. It's about making the right play too, Joe. Like Chris Bell, like, we know you might miss 4 in a row, but we know you have the potential to make the next 3. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's just about having trust in your teammates. And Justin Taylor, he's struggling right now, man. Like, I like mentally, I think he's just struggling. Like, he's not being assertive. He's not being aggressive. He's just kind of falling back. Like, he needs to find himself again, and just, get it from somewhere else. If it's not going to be offensively, start being more aggressive on the defensive side of the ball. Like, really take it upon yourself to be like, I'm going to be the stopper. Like, I'm going to be the guy who guards the best player and really makes him make him work. Or go on the glass. Early in the season, we seen him getting 7-8 rebounds. So he was helping in that way. Get the boards going, start getting out and getting those outlet passes in transition. Get yourself going some other way.
Bigger now, though.
It's a total, in conference play, it's another story. Yeah. But I think it's tough because Judah has to find that balance too. You know what I mean? Like, like I got to do it on my own, but I got to get these guys involved. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's and you're the point guard. It's not like you the 2 and you're leading us in scoring. That's easy. Someone's creating for you and you just making shots. Now you're the leading scorer and supposed to be the one distributing the ball. So that being that guy for this team is, I feel like, makes his job a little bit tougher. And I don't want to shoot him too much bail, but I do believe it makes his job tougher because he has the job of making sure he scores the ball. Because if he scores, if Judah scores 5 points and we lose by 16, damn, Judah, you got to score the ball for us to be in the game. He scores 28, we lose by 16. Damn, you got to get guys involved a little bit more. And I'm saying both could be true. Nothing doesn't mean any of those reactions would be wrong, but it's just a lot for him to have to, I guess, carry and balance and find that good balance between go get a bucket, get guys involved. As a point guard, traditionally that position is to distribute and get guys involved and get your assist off and things of that nature. But he's also called upon to score the ball for us at a high level. So I think for his job on this team is it makes it a little that dynamic, that balance is tough. Sorry.
And just to be real, he didn't. And just to be real, like, he didn't have any help. Speaking on Quadir, I think just early on he got those 2 fouls. He was just out of sync the whole game. He really never found his groove, and he's been a huge part of our success. In winning games. Like, he's been out on the floor. He only played 15 minutes. He's been out on the floor, 25 plus minutes. And not only is he providing scoring, but he's providing everything else, like defensively and, being able to make plays and pass the ball, get guys in their spots. So he takes a lot of pressure off Judah too. We see him bringing up the ball sometimes. We see JJ bringing up the ball sometimes. And I think, one thing talking about JJ, I think obviously he didn't have a great game efficient, 4-14, 0-5 from 3. Yeah, he has to be able to do more and help Judah out. But I do like seeing the 14 shots. You know what I'm saying? Early on, we'd see, 2 for 6 or 3 for 7. Like we talked about it, Joe. He's a guy who has to shoot the ball 10 plus times a game.
You did say
for,
that. Yep.
for this team. So it's encouraging to see that, he didn't let a few missed shots, stop him from being aggressive. But now he just has to be more efficient. I mean, he's 2 for 4 from the free throw line. I think he's a guy who can get to the line, 6 to 8 times a game, just by attacking the basket and getting downhill. And he has to pick his spots. But again, like for those guys to be super effective at getting to the basket, getting downhill, we got to be able to make jump shots, Joe.
Yes, sir.
In the half court, okay? In the half court, because that's what it was. Like Florida State did a great job last night of making us play in the half court. And then in the half court,
they're all game too. They slowed us up.
And that was the thing, like that exactly that little, 3/4 press, slowed us up, made us play in half court. And I think we got stagnant. And when you're not making jump shots, you're getting stagnant. Judah's gonna take over. He's gonna try to go ahead and just go to the hole and play 1-on-1. And that's what it was, a majority of the game. And I think, like you said, we were close, with 7-8 minutes left in the game. But Florida State really wasn't playing well either. You know what I mean? They're not a team who makes a lot of threes or makes a lot of jump shot. But I think they made 6 threes, 6 for 17, I think it was. And but you look at us, we were 1 of 14. If you're 1 of 14 from the 3-point line, you miss 11 free throws, you have 16 turnovers, you're gonna make it hard for yourself to win any type of game. You know what I mean? And then you give up 50 points in the paint. Like those guys were just getting downhill, getting to the basket at will. You know what I mean? So, all those things that we talked about, it's going to be hard to win games, Joe.
No question. And it comes back to, I mean, granted, Florida State had been playing some good basketball. I think before coming into our game last night, they were 5. They had won about 5 games. You know what I'm saying? 5-1 before they played us. So they played. They were playing some good basketball. You know what I mean? So it's not like it comes as a total surprise that they're a good basketball team or they were able to win a game. It's just that like you mentioned, we make their job a little easier when we're turning the ball over. You know what I'm saying? Like silly ones, like like a QC stepping over the line, like those little silly turnovers that we, inbounding the ball, those little things that we unforced turnovers that we were making. We missed a lot of gimmies too. How much do you believe or think, or if you think at all, that the quick turnaround from had a part to play into maybe some progressive fatigue, or do you buy into any of that?
I mean, not really, Joe. I mean, it's just, guys. Yeah, right. I mean, I just think that that just comes with the territory. Like, when you look on your schedule, I got this game Saturday, and then I got that quick turnaround Tuesday, and then I got another Saturday game, and then I got another motherfucking Tuesday game. You know what I'm saying? So it just comes with the territory. Yeah, guys are going to be tired, bro. I think they were tired last night. You saw Florida State did a good job of wearing them down. Florida State plays 10, 11 guys, and all those guys are making an impact. They're athletic, they're fast, they're strong. So they're coming at you with different players, throughout the game. And you could see it in Judah. He played 38 minutes. He was tired. But again, like I don't want to really ever use that as an excuse, because Joe, when we were playing, man, shit, I love to play 40 minutes. You know what I mean? Like play me the whole fucking game. Yeah, I'm gonna be tired,
cold tub next day and all type of treatment. Get yourself rejuvenated, feeling good, man.
And you know what? Shout out to Brad at Cincinnati, baby. Shit, Brad is he's the best. Shout out Kabilis too. But I think and we talked about yesterday on the post game. Even though Naheem McLeod, wasn't really adding a lot offensively, I think in games like this, where they're playing fucking big dudes, in games like against North Carolina, where they got a real presence down low, McLeod makes a difference. Just being there 7'4", being a rim protector, being a guy who could just alter shots, being there, a guy who I think as the season progressed would have got better at, rim running and sprinting the floor. But that does hurt us without having a real big, because now, Joe, Malik Brown is playing the center. Benny Williams is playing the center. The Peter Carey and Hema. I mean, those guys, Hema's injured. You could just tell he can't move. Peter Carey, he's not ready. You know what I'm saying? He's a guy who has potential, as far as, he's athletic, he can move, he's mobile. But he's just not ready yet. You know what I'm saying? You put him out there, he's like Bambi right now. You know what I'm saying? As far, you know what I'm saying? Like he just not ready, man. He got those Bambi legs out there. But so, we making it hard for Malik Brown and Benny Williams, guys who are playing out of position, and that right there changes the whole dynamic of the offense. It changes the whole dynamic of the defense. You know what I'm saying? Now,
for sure.
And I think yesterday for me, it probably would have been a time to try out zone a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Just because Florida State wasn't a great shooting team. They're big. They're a team that they want to drive and get downhill. But at the same time, we went zone, and the only guy that could shoot on Florida State, they lost him, and he hit one in that I think it was that left corner, which helped Florida State extend the lead in the second half. So. You know what? It's a tough situation, man. This is a talented team. They have some depth, but we're struggling. With a few things, and primarily shooting the ball. You know what I'm saying, Joe? If you can't shoot the fucking ball, it's fucking hard to play in the half court, especially today. How the fuck are you going to play in the half court if you can't shoot the ball? How the fuck are you going to get out in transition? Because that's what we do best. Like, if we are able to run and play fast and get out in transition, get easy buckets, get ahead of the defense before it's set, that'd be ideal. But how the fuck are we going to do that when we're losing every single rebounding battle? You know what I'm saying? Like, we won. I think we were plus 3 or something overall in the game, but Florida State flipped it in the second half, and they won, and they had the rebounding edge in the second half. But if you're not rebounding the ball, you can't get out and play in transition, which we excel at, right? If you're not getting out in transition, you're going to be forced to play in the half court. You know what I'm saying? If you're playing in the half court and you're not having any fucking perimeter shots go down, how the fuck can you do that? I mean, Joe, that's hard as shit to play in half court and you have no spacing. You know what I'm saying? Now, and you saw it. Now everyone is just playing boxes and elbows, and they're daring you to go kick it out. And Joe, I think a mentality.
You'll live with that.
You'll live with that. And then tell me if I'm wrong, Joe. A lot of times, like as a shooter, like, all right, you see a defender, like, all right, he's on you, but you miss a couple. Now you see a defender and he just standing there not closing out. Oh, that's a mind fuck. Mm-hmm. That's a mind fuck.
Oh,
now
hold up.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, damn, this motherfucker, I really must not be able to shoot that motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's kind of how they were doing JJ early on in the season. You know what I mean?
Yep, definitely. I remember, I forget, maybe it was during the Maui tournament. Someone really, I think maybe when we played at Oregon, we played somebody.
It was Oregon, I think.
I forget who the game. Yeah, was it them? Probably that game. They kind of just let him shoot, but he made that one. Actually, they dared to make that left slot. But yeah, no, for sure. You see someone not closing out, like, oh shit! And that as you're shooting it, now you're shooting it like a fuck you type of shot. Like, man, so you're not even shooting it with the same type of, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, nah, for sure.
And I think, like, Joe, what is so? And this is my question for you. So you're forced to play in the half court, right? Your shooters who are supposed to be knocking down these perimeter shots aren't knocking them down, right? You see the defense, they're collapsing in, they're making Judah driving into he gets by the first guy. We know that, but then he's driving right into the defense. So what do you do offensively? You know what I'm saying? What can you do offensively? To score points when your shooters, aren't hitting jump shots, spacing the floor out. Like, do you go into, try to flash Malik in the high post and try to get that high, or flash Benny in the high post, try to get that high low and try to work from there? Like, I mean, from a coach's standpoint,
we would have to get, first of all, space to obviously we got to have that good spacing on the floor. But like you said, which I saw Judah have to go through a lot yesterday and in previous games, is you're getting down there into that, in below that free throw line with no outlets. And the deeper you get into the paint, the harder it is going to kick out, because every pass is happening backwards, as opposed to if you're penetrating and kicking, at least you have better angles, right? So he ends up being in a situation where he's getting into the paint, getting below the free throw line, which is great. But now he's finding himself in a situation with no passing angles, and now he's pump fake, get around defenses. I saw yesterday he did one time pump fake, jumped into the defender, got to the free throw line. But what I would say, Malik down there, I would put one of our more athletic, which situation, 6'8", 6'9", get him to be able to make a play on that free throw line. Just him being bigger, but we can't live with that all game either, because that also becomes easy to guard at some point when guys aren't making shots. The story here is we got to make shots. If you make shots, guys can't help as much. And now these things just open up the game and the floor for everybody. You know what I mean? Because you drop a play, hammer screens, flares, pin downs, whatever it is. But if you're not making a shot, it don't matter what you design. It don't matter what you draw up. You shit. As a coach, you could hope the shot go, but you can't do nothing else but drop the play and hope that the player makes it. And shooting 1 for 14 doesn't mean you stop shooting, but something else for the time being. And it just so happened that we ran out of time as we kept playing in the half court, making it tough for ourselves. It was tough for us to get anything. Like you said, traditionally, Syracuse teams are great in training. If we can't get that and have to play in a half court with a team that's not making shots, turning the ball over, it's a recipe for a loss, if I'm being honest. Yeah. You're not going to win it playing that way. You know what I'm saying? So keep playing high. Maybe another thing, high pick and rolls might be something that create a bit more help. But once again, are we going to knock down that shot when that guy goes? And that's why I mentioned earlier, Judah trying to take it upon himself. Like, not to say hero ball, but he's trying to win. And right now, everything else is not working. You know what I'm saying? Every game takes on an identity of its own. I love to say that because it's the truth. One game, it has 20-something. Next game, it could be QC. Every game, depending on the matchups, a lot factors into who's going to be the man or who's going to lead us. But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, who do you turn to? The team turns to their guy in tough situations. You've been turned to, down the line, a guy's been turned to. When shit got tough, we got to put the ball in your hands to make a play, help us win. It just so happens our guy is our point, right? It makes it look sometimes as if he's not passing the ball enough, or he's a point guard. Why isn't he? Well, he's also called upon to score the fuck. And when all else fails, that's who that's who's gonna shoulder the load. You know what I'm saying? And say, fuck it, let me go try to make something happen. Maybe we create some opportunity, open up, find themselves. We create some opportunities for ourselves. The fans get involved. The dome's rocking. Now maybe someone hits a three. Sometimes that fan involvement is all you need. Just the fans getting a big play from somebody like a Judah, go down there, get 2-and-1s in a row, a dunk. Then now we're hitting a three. Because now they got to collapse more. Maybe that shot on now is more open and guys can knock it down. But outside of that, man, it's not much you can do if guys aren't making shots.
Hey, and I tell you what, it's the Canadian internet now, or shit. I just had Flintstone come to my motherfucking house. God damn, that shit. No, but you right, Joe.
My shit look terrible too, though. Honestly, my shit look like a Super Nintendo. My shit all pixely right now. I'm not seeing straight.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, bet. Man, shout out to my guy, Jordan Capozzi, man.
Shout out to Jordan in the background doing his fucking thing, man.
I know the audience can't fucking hear him, but we can fucking hear him. All right. And he's doing a hell of a job, man. But Joe, I think you're right, man. Like, if you're not hitting any jump shots, you're putting a lot of pressure on everything else that you got to do a lot better, yo. Because if you're not hitting jump shots in the half court, it goes back to defensively. Can we block shots? Can we get steals? And can we get runouts to score that way? I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's really what it is, dude. Because if you not making any perimeter shots, man, you're fucked, bro.
100%.
I mean, just to be real, man, because that's hard to play like that, dude. Because you got to be fucking locking up. I'm talking about going crazy on the defensive side of the ball. You got to be snagging every single board. Like, it just puts so much pressure on everything else that you got to do well. Like when you're hitting one or two jump shots, it just loosens everything up a little bit. It loosens the defense up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And offensively, guys are going to be a little bit more free and play a little bit more loose. It's not the case right now. Like last night, you could see it. Like guys are tense. They were turning the ball over more. And again, I know it's a quick turnaround against Miami, but you can't have those excuses, man. Like we got to find a way. And it hurt with Quadir not being in the game. I think he was another guy that just could have helped out defensively and making plays with the ball. But again, man, I don't want to put too much pressure on those wing guys. But and two, I think Judah too. Like Judah, we got to have you knock down some jump shots. They're going to start going under that pick and roll on you. We got to start having you knock down those shots when they go under that pick and roll, just to loosen up the defense that way as well. JJ,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's making them early.
You could see if you don't hit any shots. Yesterday we didn't hit any fucking shots. If you're 1 for 14 from the 3-point line, and I think they probably should have shot fucking more, just because you needed to. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I know you're not hitting it, but now you're missing shots, and now you're showing me like, all right, we're just not going to fucking shoot anymore because we don't have the confidence. You know what I'm saying? You have to continue to try to, at least if you have those opportunities to take an open shot, you got to take it, man, because you still have to be a threat. You still have to be a threat. I might be 0 of 10 from 3. Man, I'm shooting that motherfucker if I get an 11th opportunity. You know what I'm saying? You have to, not only for yourself, but for the team. You know what I mean? And so it's hard if you're not making jump shots, man.
So what if guys get into that what if mindset? Like, damn, what if I miss another one? But motherfucker, what if you make it? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's how you gotta be thinking. You get into that what if, like, what if I miss? Nah, what if you make it? Because then you make one, shit, that monkey off your back, poof, 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 you might end up hitting 2. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that's a fact. And now they got a game, another quick turnaround, I guess, a Saturday against North Carolina State, and North Carolina State's another team who's they're going to come in and they're going to play hard at all, and they got another big fella right there, a big fella who's going to try to take advantage of that mismatch, whether it be Malik Brown or Benny Williams, but they're going to go down to that guy and feed him. And not only is that going to, try to get us in foul trouble and, the substitution pattern, however that will be, we got some stuff we got to work on, man. Like they got to figure it out, but it starts with that wing production. We need help right there. I mean, it's not too much shit we can say, Joe. Like it is what it is. Like these are the things that we have to be able to make perimeter shots. You know what I'm saying? And if not, you better be a motherfucker on defense, and you better be rebounding the shit out that ball so we could get out and play fast and not set up against.
Gotta get stops.
You know what I mean? So
stops and shots. That's the name of the game, right? You gotta get stops. You gotta make shots. If you're doing one, you can't do one or the other. You gotta have a good balance of the two, man. Unfortunately, we get to play at home again. Which playing at the Dome, I feel like I call it the Dome effect. People all across the country tell me when they, kind of just like Tyrese was on here talking about when he first stepped into the Dome and understood, damn, okay, it's tough to play here. That Dome effect does create some havoc for certain teams. That shoot around sometimes is not enough in the Dome to get you really comfortable with the surroundings of that arena. But we're able to go ahead and play at home again, get a chance to protect home court, play in front of our Q's faithful. You know what I mean? And I think that's going to be the key right there, is just being able to bounce back after such a poor shooting performance and giving up the game, late, I'd say. What would you say? It's the last 6 or so minutes, 6.5, 7 minutes?
It was like
the game kind of took a turn.
The last 7 minutes, Florida State we were turning the ball over,
Exactly.
And Florida State was just getting to the paint at will, and they were kind of just scoring the shit out of the ball. But, bro, we can't have
protect home court.
And guys can't have bad games. I mean, and it's fucked up to say that because everyone, can have an off game. But the situation that we're in, these guys got to play well. Like JJ, you got to play well. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're not playing well, and it's over. It's because it's only Judah. Because now we need Chris Bell, we need Justin Taylor, and those guys who really haven't been consistent, throughout the year. So it's like a little room for error with these guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then Saturday, I'll tell you what, it's a must-win game. It's a must-win game Saturday, bro. If you want to make the NCAA tournament, you have to win this game Saturday. You have to really, I mean, I'll have to look at the schedule, but they don't have room for many more losses if they want to make the tournament. And I believe this team, if they did get in the tournament, they could make some noise because they're a talented group, man.
And as you know, in that tournament, now we don't want to think too far ahead, but in that tournament, anything is possible because you're playing against teams. It's really, it's March Madness. You see 16s, 14s, 13 seeds getting wins. You know what I mean? 12, because you don't know these teams like conference teams do. You come in there kind of clean slate. Don't nobody really know you or your abilities. They could only learn but so much on film. Seeing film and cutting film and without having to actually go through guarding somebody. You think people knew what it was to guard you, bro, outside of the Big East? Not really. You go into the like shit. They don't know that Hezzy pull is so mean. You feel me? They don't know. They see it on film and like, I could guard that. Just like how they used to think they could. I've spoken to guys from. We played Iona while I was in school. We played. Even some guys in conference, I'd see them years later, whether it be overseas or whatever it was, and they would say, we tried to simulate the zone that you guys played. Ain't no simulation, bro. Nah. Unless you're in the conference and you really know it and you've been a part of that conference and seen this zone for years and you've been a player there for 4 years, now you're a senior and you understand the intricacies of the zone and how it works. Outside of that, you can't just watch film once and be like, oh yeah, we got it down. This is how we're going to hurt them in the zone. Because when you got that ball to the high post and them two forwards fucking ducked in and took away that little dunker pass, that little short corner pass, yeah, it happens much faster than when you did it with your 6'5" and 6'4" big man from the MEAC, as opposed to having 6'8" and 6'9", 7 feet in the middle. Like, bro, it's different. So, going into that tournament, just to finish off what I was saying, we could surprise a lot of people because, we could stop Judah like this. Nah, you can't. You haven't seen him enough. This is your first time going. You don't know how fast he is. Maybe sometimes the film don't do a guy justice. You know what I mean? Oh, shit, damn, I didn't know Malik Brown was actually that tall. He like 6'10" out there. Or that QC could really do. Nah, that's why the tournament is so crazy. You could go out there with a talented team and a hungry, talented team and do some work.
And again, I keep going back to like how we got to play if we're not being able to shoot jump shots. Benny Williams, if you're a guy who has to, dude, accept your role, bro. Like for real, like you can't be the guy trying to take dudes off the dribble or shooting jump shots. I get it. You can hit it now and then. But bro, for you to be super effective and for us to really, reach our potential as a team, dog, you got to be like the one just blocking shots, flying all around, rebounding the back. Bro, there's no reason you can't get 10 rebounds a game, dude. Or two to three blocks, or a guy who's just running in transition. You should get 2 to 3 alley-oops a game. Just off of playing hard as shit. Like I think, and Joe, we know how like hard it is for guys sometimes because at the high school level, you're the man, right? You're the man at the high school level. Everyone who plays at college, they're usually the man on their high school team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then when you get to college, it's usually another guy who's going to be the man, unless you a fucking McDonald's All-American coming in. You know what I'm saying? And then when you get to the NBA, you're probably not going to be the fucking man at all. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be a motherfucker who come in and play a role. And for some guys, they're really good players, but they get lost and their career is shortened because they're not willing to accept that shit. They always, in their mind, they always like, man, I'm the man. I've been the man. You're not the fucking man now. For this team, you're not the man. Like, we don't need you to be the man.
Yourself.
You got to and Joe, and how hard is that for kids at this age to really realize that? I mean, for me, like, I think for me at the next level in NBA, I had to be able to to accept that. And I go back and think about it. I didn't at first, you know what I'm saying? I really didn't. Like, for me to, have a longevity in my career, I had to be able to accept a role, you know what I'm saying? And play a little bit different, you know what I'm saying? Not a guy who just trying to score 30 every night. It could be hard for guys to reinvent themselves and be like, take a step back and be like, we need you to fucking get 10 boards. We don't need you to score 25. We need you to get 3 blocks. We need you to run the floor. We need you to guard this dude. Because now they feeling like, no, I'm better than that. But at the end of the day, are you doing it for yourself or are you doing it for the team? Like, that's my thing with a lot of guys. Like Benny, like, we need you to be that guy who could bring that energy. Like, who accepts their role to the T is Malik Brown, dude. Like, he's gonna be, he'll play at the next level, dude, because he's a great defender. He doesn't worry about if he's getting the ball. You know what I'm saying? He gets in where he fits in. You know what I'm saying? And he's always on the glass. You know what I'm saying?
Is he like a Hakeem Warwick, bro? Like someone who's low maintenance, you know what I'm saying? You're not going to get no issues out of him. Guess what?
Hakeem,
you give him the ball, he knows what to do with it. Yeah, he had a little jump.
Big East player of the year. But that was like.
But in what year? What year did he become that?
Junior, senior year. I think. Yeah, you're right. Junior, senior year.
As your role increases, as his role increases, and I know that everything you said is a fact too. Impact the game. It doesn't need to be by scoring the ball, rebound, defend. Accept your role. And again, if it's for the greater good of the team, then we'll all be on the same page and we'll be straight. But back to Malik and just that comparison, I just look at him like, obviously getting the dunks and all that shit, like all that aside, just coming in, low maintenance, not a guy who I don't think he was a McDonald's or anything of that nature. You know what I'm saying? He came in, not super recruited, you know what I mean? But comes to the Q's, does work consistently, gets better every year consistently, and ends up being a pro. You know what I mean? Because he was a star in his role. And then obviously as years go on, your role increases, but he always was ready for that role to be increased and ready to take on more and do more. But he was rebounding the ball, blocking shots, dunking, you know what I mean? And I think that I could see something similar, maybe like a poor man's version, of course, but I could see something similar, from Malik. Now he's, his role is increasing and he's ready. Great hands, great touch around the basket. He can finish above the rim. He can block shots. His intangibles are great. He's out there. He could switch on the guards, get steals, deflections. We've seen that before. So he can do a lot of little things really well. And I think that's why he's going to be so special of a player, because his overall game, as that grows and his ability to score the ball grows, all those little intangibles will grow as well. He'll just get smarter. His IQ is going to get better just playing at this level. He's going to understand the game more. And a kid